What's happening, people, and welcome to the Rambling Dad podcast. And today I am joined by Nathaniel Wood. What's happening, my man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm ready to fight now after that little intro. So
good to hear it, mate. Nice. I'm glad you like it. Oh, wicked. I'll be sticking it up on Insta anyway, so you'll be able to watch it as many times as you want, mate. So first off, man, I just wanted to say congratulations on the announcement to you and your missus of your daughter there. That's incredible news.
Oh, thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Like I said, give me time tonight to help get my daughter down and stuff like that. So it's an incredible ride. I'm almost 2 years in, and I'm sure you're gonna love it, mate. So how are you feeling about becoming a dad? Are you excited?
Yeah, I can't wait, mate. I've wanted kids for a long time, really, if I'm honest. We just kind of thought, wait till we got a bit more money and, wait till my MMA career is a little bit more in there kind of thing, earning a bit more and stuff. So now's the perfect time. We're married, done it the right way, and just looking forward to it, mate. Really, I want a little army. So I want 4 or 5 kids. I want a big family. Yeah, the missus is a bit like,
yeah. I mean, you don't need to go through that, mate. That's
I might change my mind after one, of course. But
mate.
I like the idea of a little pack of minions coming behind me when I walk into the restaurant, and everyone's saying,
that'd be excellent.
No, not these lot again.
Yeah. Wait until you get on a plane with one, never mind 5 of them, mate. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody already looks at you. You get on there with 5, I'm gonna be like, what's this guy up to? I mean, not a chance. Oh, mate, that's incredible. 5, like I was the same. I've always wanted to be a dad, and I was like, 2. I think 2 and I'll be done. Yeah, I mean, but incredible news, mate. Incredible news. So, obviously you want a little small army. So, what are you looking forward to the most?
Say that again, sorry, mate.
You want a little small army. So, what are you looking forward to the most of having kids, like?
Mate, if I'm honest, like obviously the idea would be that my kids get on, right? So obviously not all kids get on. If they end up hating each other, that would be like my worst nightmare. But I like the idea of my kids having each other. Touch wood, say me and the missus was to end up getting run over by a bus tomorrow. My kids have got each other. I like the thought of that. Where if you have an only child, they might. If something was to happen to the parents, they're kind of on their own. I don't know, obviously, what the situation is, whether they've got grandparents and whatnot, but I like the idea of a close family. And, my nan who just passed away a year and a half ago, my granddaddy's 89. He's got my mum, my auntie, my uncle. They're all round there. They all look after him. And I like the idea of that, being an old man with all my family around me. So, as I'll get as many as I can if I can afford it. Because I don't obviously want to bring them into the world and then not be able to provide for them. But I like the idea of sitting around a Christmas table and having them all getting on. So if they don't get on, that could be a whole different ball game.
I mean, I don't know how you grew up, but I had like a lot of cousins and stuff. There's like 14 years between me and my sister, so it was a massive gap. But it was only the 2 of us. But I can see where you're coming from with the family aspect there. You know what I mean, of having each other. Because like I say, I grew up with a lot of cousins. I moved to Scotland 13 years ago now, going on something like that, and we've no family up here. It's just me, my missus, her mum and her sister, and then obviously we've had the little girl. So I'm always like, I want another kid. You know what I mean? I want her to be able to have somebody to grow up with and have what I had when I was younger. You know what I mean? So now I can relate with that. Like I can really get on board with that as well. So you've got exciting times ahead, mate. So have you started like getting the nursery and the crib and everything ready and thinking of any names and stuff?
Yeah, so we've already got a name. I won't say it yet though, but we are going
keep it, mate. Keep it.
We are going for a little bit of some health complications at the moment, which isn't great, but we're on the positive scale at the moment. With she's got something called CDH, which without going into too much detail, it's a hernia in her diaphragm, so she's got a hole, and her intestines have gone up by where her lung is. So this is something that happens 1 in 2,500 people. But luckily at the moment, she's in the mild category, which means it's 90% survival rate, which, I'm pretty confident with that. But just before Christmas, it was the kind of worst day of my life. I was told that she was in the severe category and that she had 40% chance of survival. 10 minutes later, they tell us that they got it wrong. It was mild and it's 90% survival. So, I felt like chinning the doctors, but I just obviously had to take the positive news. And mate, me and the wife, we're confident at the moment. We went from being pretty damn depressed to now it's like, okay, we're going to get through this. We're going to make it work. And I believe that God's given us these problems because he knows we can handle it. So, it's not how I expected my first baby to be going, but we're confident that we're going to get through it. She will have to be in ICU for a couple of months when she's born, which is going to suck, but I don't care as long as she comes home safe. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to being a dad, mate. It's already killing me not being able to, do anything about this illness that she's got. If I could take it for her, I would do it in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, I can't. So all I can do is just stay positive and, make the wife's life as easy as possible.
That's what it's all about as well. Like going through the pregnancy, everything is making sure that they're as comfortable and everything they can go through. And again, like sorry to hear about the health conditions. Obviously, getting the bad news and then like getting some better news isn't great, especially in that kind of turnaround. It's like, how can you mess that up? How can you give somebody that information and then actually go and go, wait, it's not as severe as what we thought it was? And after you've already like torn your heart out of your chest, really, you know what I mean? Because it is a very worrying thing. And like you say, there's nothing you can do about it, and you just feel helpless, and you want to do everything that you can for them. Like even though they're not even here yet, like you've got such a love for them already. It is unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, but I hope everything goes well. I hope everything's smooth as possible with the rest of the pregnancy, and strong fighting parents. You'll have a strong fighting girl as well there, mate. Like my little girl was born with a breathing condition. She was in the hospital. She went into the ICU just for 2 days. You know what I mean? She was on antibiotics, and so my missus was giving her like colostrum, which is like, they call it liquid gold. It's like the first parts of breast milk, and that really helps. It's got nutrients, but everything that they need, and that seemed to boost her through as well with the antibiotics. And they said she could be in there for a week, but she managed to get out after 2 days, and then we were in the hospital with her for a week as well. But it's a very concerning time. You know what I mean? Just a relatable part of like, we went not similar, but I mean, kind of similar. We went through some health scares at the start there as well. But,
that's it, mate. It's horrible, and I said I want 4 or 5 kids, but I'm like, not if it's going to cause me this much stress,
Oh, I know, I know.
But I'm confident that she's going to come out all right, and I'm praying, mate. I'm on my knees praying every day. So I'm pretty confident that she's going to come out and be healthy and allow me to give her the life that I know I can.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. And then on to the next one after that. You know what I mean? But you're already in training, mate. You know what I mean? You're a dog dad as it is. Was it Ivar your boy's called?
Yes, Ivar is probably the hardest working dog I could have got. I don't think I've once had him tired, and I have taken him out for hours at a time. I've thrown the ball for him for hours, and he will not stop. So, I definitely got my work cut out for me when I bought him. But yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. I know a lot of people, I think, they see him and they see what he's like and they think, how are you dealing with this? But I love it, mate. I can't sit still myself, so I'm one of these people where if I've got loads of kids, if I've got dogs, I'm up, I'm busy, I'm able to do it. So you won't see me sitting on a sofa for very long, that's for sure.
That's it. I don't know if you can see mine in the background now, or Staffy that I've got as well. And
I can't see very clearly because I've got you on my phone. I don't know how to...
Yeah, but he's chilling there. He's just jumped up. He was barking in the corridor a minute ago because I'd shut the door and locked him out. He's like, yeah, let me back in. He's getting on a bit now, 12 to 13, but in his younger years he was the same, mate. They're absolutely bonkers. You could throw the ball for them all day and they would just keep going for it. So, but Ivar's a very clever cookie. I've seen you've got him at training and all the rest of it, man. He's very switched on, well behaved. So is it like, how did you get into the training? What made you think about jumping into that with him?
So, funny story, we had a staff, she lived to 14. She passed away, unfortunately, 2 years ago now, which was a horrible time, mate. That was fucking abysmal. She was our family dog. I'd had her for 14 years. I only moved out 3 years ago. So for the last 3 years, she's been with my mum and dad, or for the last year, of her life. And then with Ivar, so with our staff that we had, Ruby, she was never a big fan of kids and other dogs. Now, she was a soppy little thing, but I think she saw them as a threat.
Yeah.
So when I got Ivar, obviously I've got a dog that's, ideally he needs to be trained. He needs to be worked. They're a working breed. So that was one reason why I got him into the training. But the other reason was because I didn't want an anxious dog. Now, I thought, right, if I take the dog training, he knows my command. So if there's a threat and I need to tell him basically, to watch out for someone, he knows Dad will tell him. And so far, mate, it's worked because he is the friendliest dog with anyone and everyone until I tell him otherwise, or unless someone's acting a little bit suspicious. So outside the flats the other day, there was I say about 18, he was a kid, he was doing balloons on his own. So it was like 12 o'clock at night. So I've gone out there and I've gone, you all right, mate? And he's stumbling all over the place. And I've obviously just started barking at him straight away because he wasn't acting normal. He had his hood up, you know. And other than things like that, mate, he's so clever. So it's so reassuring now that I can trust him with anyone. You know, I'm never going to leave him with my daughter. I'm never going to leave him with a baby because he's clumsy. You know, dogs are clumsy. I don't want him to knock them over or whatnot. But
jump up and scratch or whatever.
I have nothing but trust in him because he is so switched on, so clever that he knows I will tell him if there's a problem. You know, I'll tell him if there's a threat. And mate, he's 3 years old now, and so far we've had no issues in regards to that. So yeah, and plus he loves it, mate. I take him dog training, and you can see him in the back. You know, his jaws going, he's ready. You know, he loves doing
tongues hanging out.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, you know, that's what they were bred for, and he likes to use his brain. So. And it's good fun, mate. It is good fun.
Yeah. I think most people need to adopt that mentality towards dog training and dog behaviors, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, you see some people out there with these dogs that they can't control. I seen you go on your rant about that woman walking about 6 dogs or something. And it's just like, what are you doing, love? You know what I mean? There's no 9. Like, I was like, mate, there's no way you're controlling all of them if something kicks off. You know what I mean? Like, I can, with my boy, when I took him to the training, like, Staffies, as you would know, were very dominant dogs. They don't like making eye contact, all the stuff of it. So it's training them to get used to do that with you. So it was something that we called was like watch, and we just get him to turn and look at you straight away. So I can say it in his eyes will be on my eyes straight away. I mean, just things like that in public, where if anything's about to happen, you can like boom, and you've got their attention straight away. There's so many people out there, especially with this XL bully ban and the breed specific legislation. It's a joke, mate. Like, it's people that need to be trained more. It's not the dogs that need to be muzzled or signed up to a register or whatever, or put down like they're doing in some places. The whole thing's disgusting, mate. And you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, the way I see it is license them. Make it, you know, in America, if you got a gun, you need a license, right? Have it the same. Every dog you buy, you need a license. Now, the idea would be that not only do you hold people accountable for if there's anything going wrong with that dog, you know, if a dog bites someone and whatnot, you can chip it, find out where it's from, boom, that owner's getting in trouble. You know, the second thing is it stops idiots breeding these dogs and then selling them to just any old Tom, Dick, and Harry that are going to abuse them. And, you know, if you go and find an abused dog, oh, guess what? We know who it owns, who it belongs to, and you're going to get punished, man. And to me, I think this world today, there's not enough punishments for inhumane acts, you know. So if someone goes and tortures a dog and kills it, they'll get, what, a year or 2 years in prison? Why? Because it's a dog. But the way I see it is for someone to commit such an inhumane act against something is they take their human rights away. You know, that's the way I would see it. But unfortunately today, you know, people getting away with anything. And, you know, at the moment, everyone just seems to blame dogs. And now it's the bully XLs, you know, put them down, put them down. Why? You know, because there's a couple of idiots out there that don't know how to control their dogs. Well, I had a Labrador go for my boy the other day. Do you know what I mean? I was like, luckily he's pretty chilled, so I was thinking.
I had a little Westie go for him today. I had to grab him by the harness and pick him up and be like, "Yeah, come and get your dog." Yeah, I mean, to the other person, and she's like, "Oh."
I said to him, "It's good that he's under control, isn't it? Because if only they knew." Do you know what I mean? But
that's it. Give them the cheeky comment about it. Yeah, I mean, just like, you're a muppet. Because if it was the other way around, your dog or my dog being a staffy and that happened, I mean, they'd be like, we're calling for him to be put down. The police will be around your house and you're trying to take him off you. And it's just like, this is bullshit. There's so many.
It's about 6 months ago. I had a little thing chasing him. It's probably like a little Yorkshire. I don't know what the breed was, and it was quite funny because she was sort of chasing him as he was going for his ball, and then I noticed that she or he was nipping the back of his legs, and the guy laughed, and I said to him, I said, if it's the other way around, my dog would be put down, wouldn't it? And he stopped laughing, and then he was like, oh, fair enough, whatever. But mate, I was about to boot the thing. Do you know what I mean? I was like, how dare you bite? I know. He's actually biting my dog, you know, not even trying to just bark or whatever. You're chasing it and biting him. I was like, I'll either go and eat him, man. Do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah. You're sitting thinking it, aren't you? But you're like, nah, don't do it. That's how it goes. Some people are just absolute assholes, man, and they shouldn't even have a dog when they've never done it. Everyone just thinks some of these little ones are little cute things, but they're not. They're actually the most yappiest little annoying pests against other dogs that you're ever going to get against some of them. They're a pain in the ass. But obviously I know you're short for time, mate, so I'm just going to try and rattle through some of these a little bit quicker. So obviously Prospect Apparel, you launched that, was it 2 years ago now?
Prospect Apparel I've launched it's been about 4 years, I think.
That was it, right?
Prospect Academy,
time flies,
which is a year and a half now.
Right.
So
Okay. Maybe I got the two mixed up. Right. But
don't
and you
don't
just
talk about
started.
time moving fast, mate. Oh my goodness,
Wait until
I
you've had a
feel
kid,
like
mate. Wait until that little girl comes along and it just goes even quicker. It's unbelievable.
yeah. Mate,
And
every day
you've
now I'm like, make the most of it, man, because I feel like yesterday I was 18 and now I'm 30. So
yeah.
another 12 years, well, it's going quick, you know.
Mm-hmm. And see
Careful
the
life,
first
man.
year of your daughter's life, mate. Make the most of that. I swear to God, it vanishes so quick. It's weird. You feel like you're losing them, but you're not. They're just growing up. But like, there's
Yeah,
little moments where you're like, "Oh man, this is amazing. I wish I could be here forever." But then when they get a bit older, you're like, "This is even better. I wish I could be here." And it must just keep going all the way through the life. You know what I mean? But it's mad.
yeah.
Like I've gone through some emotional journeys in the last 2 years of just watching her grow up and develop and
Hey,
learn
you got
from day to
got have
day.
4 or 5, mate. There you go. And
No,
then
that's it.
you can
That's
have it
it.
even longer.
Yeah, you never run out of the experience then, I suppose. Yeah. I don't think my missus would be keen on that one. Like, but so you just launched a belt program, like little key rings. You get white ones, blue ones, purple ones, brown ones, black ones. Yeah. Where did the idea in that come from?
So I've got the Prospect Academy, which is my it's an online tutorial. Now the idea of it is it's not just, hey, come along and train with me and I'm going to try and make a quick buck. Basically what I've done is I've set up an online tutorial training system with my whole team. So we've not only got my head coach, BJJ coach, boxing coach, etc., etc. We've got my yoga instructor, my sports physio, my nutritionist. Now all of that literally for the price of a coffee, mate. This year we've actually just upped the price because it was just costing us too much money to run.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've got to pay for cameramen, I've got to pay for the website, I've got to pay for coaches. Now, the idea behind it is I want the world to learn how to defend themselves, basically. And I know that not everyone's in a position to go to an MMA gym. You know, people that maybe have been bullied really badly, they're probably too nervous to even go to a gym. You know, I knew that I was quite nervous when I went to my first training sessions, and I wanted to be an MMA fighter. I wasn't someone just looking to learn self-defense.
Yeah.
So my idea is that I want people to be able to learn from the comfort of their home, or if they don't want to necessarily like go to the gyms, they just get a basic understanding. Now, what they can get from us is a no bullshit guarantee, because I'm a UFC fighter. This is the team that work with the UFC fighters, you know, that go on to perform in front of the world. This isn't some, you know, karate, Krav Maga bullshit thing where I'm going to use my mind and flip people over and stuff that you see on YouTube. Also, they get access to talking to us. So on the forums, you know, we've actually built up like a community, if you like, people that are just putting their messages. They might send videos of them hitting pads, etc. Now, the belt system is all a bit of fun, but it's just a way for people to feel more part of it. So everyone that joins, they're going to receive the white belt keyring. Then what they're going to do, I have to double check with my partner, but I think it was watch 20 videos and be with us for 2 months and talk in the forums, etc. Then they get their blue belt. Then, you know, they work their way up, purple belt, brown belt, black belt. And it's good fun, mate. You know, I'm enjoying it. And I do honestly feel like it's helping the world. And I've made it so cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'd love for it to start paying and being able to put some money in my back pocket. But at the moment, it's costing me money, but it's giving me a great sense of purpose. Do you know what I mean? It's given me a way to be able to. We've had messages in there from people saying how much it's helping them mentally. And, you know, sometimes, like, I don't know if they're just saying it to make me feel good, but I'm like, fucking hell, we're making a difference in the world. And, yeah, you know, we've actually got like 125 subscribers now. So I'm like, you know, one day I'd like to have thousands and just think that there's people around the world that, you know, we could be helping. And yeah, it's good fun, mate. You know, we've got a lot of little discounts in there for people if they're joining GB Top Team. You know, my coaches will give them a discount. We've got discounts for my clothing brands. They get free shipping. You know, we're really trying to make it so cheap, but so worth it that they just want to stay and be a part of it. Whereas, you know, I know there's a lot of fighters out there and it's like, hey, come and train with me, £100. And I'm like, that's just, all they're doing is making a quick couple of quid. They're going to go and buy some new clothes and then jack it in. I want this to last me years. And in 10 years' time, when I retire, if it can pay my wage, amazing. You know, if I can live off it and I can train people around the world via the laptops, then, you know, I'll be happy, man.
That's today's day and age, isn't it? And like you say, I've seen a couple of the messages that you posted on Instagram about it as well. People just saying, like, you've helped my son so much, whether they had anxiety or, you know what I mean, they were struggling socially or bullying or whatever. So it's making an impact. It's making a difference. But it sounds like it's doing what you wanted it to do. You know what I mean? And as long as you're enjoying making the content, it's keeping you active, then it sounds like it's a positive thing that you're putting out there, and all the best with it, man. You know what I mean? And obviously you've got giveaways and everything in there too. You know what I mean? Just that little extra, because some of that stuff that you're giving away, you'd be paying 500 quid off the UFC website for, and you're going, $4.99, $5.99 a month, and I can chuck you this stuff if you're lucky enough to win.
A lot of people think I'm mad. You know, they're like, "Why are you giving away these things?" And it's like, well, I'm hoping that people are going to join, see what we're about via the giveaway, and then think, you know what, I'm going to stay and get the word out there. And if they want to come and just try and win the prize and then leave, you know, so be it. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, I can sleep, you know, well with not having your £5 or whatever it works out. You know, I'm not going to lose sleep over someone leaving. But I like the thought of, you know, let's say it's not for you, but it might be for your cousin's son who's been bullied, or, you know, your sister's friend's daughter who's 10 and she's being bullied, and it's something where she can gain some confidence. And, you know, not everyone has access to gyms. Not everyone can afford gyms. You know, some people can barely afford to put food on the table, let alone go and pay £100 a month, you know, subscription for a gym. So, you know, I've got to charge a little bit. Even if someone messaged me and said that they really can't afford it, then fuck it, have it for free. But I'd have to get my partner to kind of work out how to do that. But yeah, it's nice to have something that I do feel potentially can make a difference in the world, and, you know, hopefully I can help. So
that's it, mate. That's it. So keep going with it. So obviously you're tight for time, so we'll wrap this up quickly. I know you said that you're not looking at fighting anytime soon. You've got other things on your mind, obviously your daughter at the moment, and that obviously takes priority over everything else. You recently fought against Naimov in Abu Dhabi. Obviously didn't get the decision that you wanted. You tried to get that overturned, and the appeal didn't go through either, which was a shame, because there were some very dirty tactics used in that fight. If there was anything else to take away from that, what would it be?
Don't leave it to the judges and just finish the fight. You know, I always look at myself to blame. So don't get me wrong. I wanted to appeal the fight, and I wanted to say, look, you know, there's a lot of stuff that went on in this fight that I don't think is acceptable. If I'm honest, the main reason was so I kind of got a rematch, you know, because I want to knock him out. You know, there's no way that he should have even got through first round with me. If I'm honest, I was nowhere near my right mindset that week. I was suffering really bad anxiety, nothing to do with the fight, just in general. And I didn't want to be there, mate, at all, if I'm honest. So I hold my hands up. I perform like shit. You know, I didn't do nowhere near what I'm capable of doing. The third round was the first bit where I kind of thought, pull your fucking finger out your ass and finish this guy. And then I just ran out of time and stuff. But then when watching it back, you know, I thought, fucking hell, how many, you know, fouls can one person get away with in a fight without deduction? You know, how do you get away with holding the glove on someone? But, you know, if you like, that's just excuses. So at the end of the day, the UFC, you know, they didn't appeal it. They said it was basically down to the ref, even though I was appealing the ref. Do you know what I mean? They did say that, look, you can go to the next stage, but you're going to have to start getting lawyers involved. And I'm like, mate, I ain't got money to start paying lawyers and stuff. You know, I don't want to open up a can of worms. But, you know, I definitely feel like that fight was biased to the
I mean, the whole night there was a lot of dodgy things going on in the entire card. You know what I mean? Not just your fight as well. There was a lot of things where you're like, if that was anywhere else in the world, would that decision have been made? Would the ref have been acting like that? It was a bit of a mad one. The whole card was a bit of a mad one, to be honest with you. Like, but
I can promise you now that having that loss, mate, you know, I'm pissed, and obviously I'm going through this stuff with my daughter now. It's made me also pissed. So, you know, my next opponent, I am going to fucking break them. You know, that is the plan, because I am really angry. I'm really frustrated at the moment, and the training's going amazing. So, you know, maybe I should take a fight right now, but, you know, I know that you shouldn't take a fight when you're on emotions, and, you know, for this emotional kind of ride at the moment might change soon. But at the moment, you know, I'm feeling like an absolute monster, and I can't wait to get in there with the next opponent and, you know, kind of let loose on them, man. Yeah.
So you're waiting until after the birth of your daughter, then, until you get your head back in the game.
So I asked if we could get on a set like the Saudi Arabia card, you know, something soon.
So you would definitely fight back there as well, yeah? Sorry to interrupt, but you would definitely go back, yeah?
Yeah, I think I'll go for the opponent. But yeah, you know, for me, I want to be as close to home as possible in case, touch wood, anything goes wrong. And obviously the only sort of localish card was Saudi Arabia. I think that's about 5-6 hour flight, whereas something like Vegas, which they offered me, but 2 weeks before my daughter was born, is a 12-hour flight, and they might be bringing they might be doing a cesarean a week early. I can't be in Vegas 2 weeks before, so I had to sadly decline. And I just said, look, if there's nothing that's going to come up pretty damn soon, then just wait. Let me get my daughter here first and make sure that she's safe and my wife's safe, and then I'll go from there. So yeah.
Excellent, mate. Excellent. Right, I'll let you get away anyway, buddy, because I know your missus is waiting on you to take her out somewhere. So and you don't want to make her unhappy. You've got to make her as happy as you can. That's it, mate. That's it. But I'll let you get going. So again, thank you very much for coming on, man. I appreciate your time. Hopefully we can get it on another time, and we can have a bit 100%. Of a longer conversation. Obviously, just a little bit rushed there, and yeah, mate. All the best with everything. Hope the rest of the pregnancy goes smooth as possible. Hope your daughter arrives safely, healthy, and happy. And all the best to you, mate, because it is one wild experience going through it. I know you just said you're going for cesarean there. My missus was natural, and experience, and that was something else. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you truly become a man until you experience childbirth, to be honest with you, after the fact. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, again, thanks, mate, and I'll talk to you again another time. Cheers, buddy.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for your time.